Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Beta Alia 250 makes successful transition flight. SPEEA files NLRB complaint alleging retaliation against member engineers. Arrests made for climate protesters breaching security at BED. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Beta Alia 250 makes successful transition flight. Vermont-based Beta Technologies has marked a significant advancement in the eVTOL aircraft sector with the successful piloted transition of its Alia 250 from vertical hover to cruise flight. This development underscores Beta's commitment to pioneering practical and commercially viable eVTOL solutions. The transition, which occurred with a pilot on board, involved moving from a stationary hover to forward flight, showcasing the aircraft's dual capabilities. Beta's journey began in 2020, quickly positioning itself as a leader in real-world eVTOL application, a stance bolstered by military airworthiness approval for manned electric flights in 2021. The Alia 250, inspired by the long-distance migratory Arctic tern, is designed with a 50-foot wingspan and an innovative electric propulsion system powered by high-density lithium batteries. It boasts a range of 250 miles and a top speed of 138 miles per hour. Beta's achievement is a critical step in the eVTOL industry, demonstrating a significant technological leap over competitors by executing a seamless transition to wing-borne cruise and back to hover, a first with a pilot on board. Beta plans to pursue FAA type certification for the Alia 250 by 2026, aiming to introduce both passenger and cargo variants to the market. After the break, Daher delivers first Kodiak 100 Series 3 at Aero-Friedrichshafen.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Daher delivers first Kodiak 100 Series 3 at Aero-Friedrichshafen. Daher achieved a significant milestone with the delivery of its first Kodiak 100 Series 3 aircraft to a Polish customer, marking a new expansion in its European market presence. The event was celebrated at the Aero-Friedrichshafen trade show in Germany, where the aircraft was officially handed over. The new owner, Polish businessman Mariusz Saran, was represented by Piotr Lasek of Plane4U, a company that assists clients in acquiring new and pre-owned aircraft. Saran, who began flying 3 years ago, sought a dependable aircraft to visit customers and partners across Europe. Kaman private buyout successful. Kaman Corporation has been fully digested by its acquiring company, Arkline Investment Management LP. The transaction was announced in January, representing an all-cash transaction of approximately $1.8 billion. The acquisition took place at $46 per share, paying out to shareholders and beginning the process of taking Kaman private. Now, Kaman's common stock has finished trading altogether, with a delisting yet to come. Airmate hits 250,000 user mark. Airmate celebrated a milestone of reaching 250,000 registered users of its application at Aero Friedrichshafen 2024. Airmate is an EFB app like so many others, but it manages to maintain a grassroots feel. It offers most of the same EFB accoutrement one expects from the breed, like charting, mapping, flight planning, and situational awareness while in air. Airbus names Robin Hayes chairman and CEO of Airbus Americas. Airbus has named Robin Hayes, the former CEO of JetBlue Airways, as the new chairman and chief executive officer of Airbus Americas, Inc. This leadership transition comes as C. Jeffrey Niddle prepares to retire on June 3rd after a successful tenure at the helm since 2018. Hayes, a seasoned leader with 35 years in the aerospace sector, including significant roles at British Airways and JetBlue, is set to bring his extensive experience to Airbus. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. SPEEA files NLRB complaint alleging retaliation against member engineers. The Society of Professional Engineering Employees in Aerospace, or SPEEA, has lodged a formal complaint with the National Labor Relations Board alleging retaliation by Boeing management against two of its union members. These engineers, who were tasked as representatives of the FAA under the Organization Delegation Authorization, challenged Boeing to revisit engineering evaluations on the 777 and 787 models following new FAA advisories. According to SPEEA, the engineers' insistence on reevaluating previous assessments to ensure compliance with FAA guidance led to pushback from Boeing managers. Despite the engineers' adherence to regulatory demands, which eventually resulted in Boeing revising the necessary analyses, the engineers faced severe consequences. Their subsequent performance reviews were negatively impacted, which SPEEA argues were retaliation for their insistence on compliance, affecting their career advancement opportunities, including raises and promotions. The union is now fighting to access a report Boeing submitted to the FAA concerning the incident, which it believes is crucial for appealing the actions taken against one of the engineers, the other having resigned due to the treatment received. SPEEA's pursuit of this information led to the filing of an unfair labor practice charge on April 18th, aiming to compel Boeing to release the document. After these messages, arrests made for climate protesters breaching security at BED.
Backcountry flying to us is our playground. For us, it's how we access the things we like to do. It's just our lifestyle. We exclusively use the Hartzell Voyager prop, and it's proved to be just a great combination for what we do. What it's doing, it's helping us all have better performing airplanes. Man, it feels a lot better clearing trees by 50 feet versus 20 feet. I don't ever see myself not flying.
Welcome back. Arrests made for climate protesters breaching security at BED. On the morning of April 20th, a protest by climate activists at Hanscom Field Airport in Bedford, Massachusetts, led to the arrest of 20 individuals. The protesters, believed to be associated with the group Extinction Rebellion, previously linked to other protests that often involve damage to aircraft or airport property, were part of a larger gathering of approximately 25 people, voicing opposition to the proposed expansion of the airport to include 17 new private jet hangars. Massachusetts State Police spokesperson David Procopio reported that the demonstrators breached a security perimeter, prompting a response from state and local police forces. The Massachusetts Port Authority, Massport, noted that the breach led to a temporary closure of the airport as a precautionary measure. Charges against the arrested individuals included trespassing and disorderly conduct. Extinction Rebellion explained that their actions were a form of peaceful civil disobedience aimed at disrupting the operations of private jets, which they argue contribute significantly to carbon emissions. Activists reportedly entered the boarding areas of fixed-base operators and physically blocked aircraft, preventing them from moving onto the runway. Some protesters also positioned themselves around aircraft wheels and blocked facility entrances to impede jet traffic. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.